And we're live. Welcome back to another show. We've got you got Benji, and then you got Mr. Free in midfield. You got Mr. Coach Kojo himself. What are you
Yes,
saying,
yes.
bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I ain't letting this club stress me too tough. I don't know about the rest of you, man. But hey, the light is making my teeth look bare white. Um, yeah, nah, I'm good, man. I can't complain. I'm actually in a good mood. So
I
yeah,
don't think I've ever done a show with you, just the two of us. It should be fun.
yeah, it should be good. Let's do
You
this.
don't have to
Let's go.
share the mic space. But anyway, so obviously, yeah, Manchester United. We're gonna just talk about the academy for a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, Jimmy Garner out on loan. What's your thoughts on that?
I thought James would get a shot this season because last season we saw a bit of him, not too much, like a couple of games here and there.
Yeah.
Because he's 18 now or 19, I thought, maybe they're gonna give him a breakout season. I do understand the loan. Obviously, you wanted to play games consistently. Watford are selling a lot of players, so there is a chance that he will start a load of games. But all in all, I'm a bit upset. I'm a bit upset. I thought obviously we've got Van der Beek in. I know he's behind Matic, he's behind McTominay and Fred too, but
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I still thought maybe a nice few cup games, but it makes sense. So I'm upset, but let him go out on loan, let him shine, let him show his ability. The Championship's not a bad league at all. It's actually a very good competitive league. I think he will look good in there as well. So let him go and ball out, and hopefully he comes back a better player.
It's interesting who's going to go play with in the Watford midfield. Tom Cleverley, captain. Uh, so I agree with you. I think he's one of the few players. Like I like my midfielders to be able to get on the ball, to drive, to pass, long balls. He
Mm.
does look a little bit. I wouldn't even say he's like carrot, but he does look like he does look like a little bit of like a. I wouldn't even say skulls, but he just has that. I feel like he just has that passing range about him. Like we don't really have for most of our midfielders, apart from
Mm.
maybe Pogba. So I would have loved to see him play more. But for him, if he gets 30 to 35 games that season under his belt and he comes back, I can see Fred and McTominay literally just getting sold next season. I believe he's that good. I believe he's a quality player. Him and Dylan Levitt are two players that I really want to see
Mm.
come through and shine. Because we have a lot of players in our academy. We have a lot of quality players in our academy. Ethan Laird, Mengi, who we're going to come to in a second. We have a lot of quality players in our academy, but I feel like they didn't get the opportunity to showcase themselves.
Well,
One of
with
the go
sorry,
on.
sorry, to cut you off. Yeah, with Ghana, I feel like there was just a bit of nervousness because obviously to blood him, just because if if there's something I can kind of agree with, it's if your team is desperate to get into a position like we were about Champions League, and we had. I mean, we didn't. Did we lose? We didn't lose, did we? No, we didn't lose in the run up to the Champions League. So
No,
even though even though that was good, I felt like maybe Solskjaer, for which I think I can agree with, is not to throw him in there straight away because every game was sort of like a pressure game. At the end of the day, you had to win. There was no drawing. There was no losing. You had to get 3 points in every
yeah,
game. And even though we got near qualifying early, we still kind of dropped points. And if he was in that situation with the criticism, I feel like maybe he thought that would have been a bit deep. Whereas Greenwood is young, or he's young, so he's 18 years old, but there was no one else that's
absolutely.
gonna yeah, there was no one else that's gonna take his position. And he earned his position. So, he got a good break and luckily we reaped the benefits of that. But I don't think he'll displace McTominay. McTominay, for me, as crazy as this may sound, can very much play a role for us in for now and the future in terms of he's one of those players where I mean we looked at the youth in the past. We know what he's been capable of in the under 23s. Obviously, this is another step up in it, and you want someone that's going to be levels.
The other
But
trophies he was doing crave turns, step overs,
he was
everything. Bro.
beating people because he was playing his box to box role, and anytime he's played box to box for us, I'll point out the Arsenal game. And Barca last season, not obviously last season that's just finished, but the season before when we were in the Champions League, he stood out in both. Obviously, because the rest of the players weren't good, but he actually did his job and he did it very well, playing the box to box
Yeah,
role
yeah,
rather than
yeah,
just
yeah.
sitting there. So he can play a squad role. And like I say, he's not a starter for us, especially with the three midfielders that we have right now of a higher quality, but he can be a squad player. As for Matic and Fred, Matic hasn't got long left at the club anyway, if I'm being honest. And Fred, I would say the same thing. But that should open the window for Ghana. And like you said, with these other guys as well, Dylan Levitt, who's another one. So, and I like Mark Helm. I don't know much people talk about him, but he's got some good talent as well. So,
And obviously the one with Medjugorje as well. Yeah, but I agree, especially with the if you look at what Chong's doing on loan at Werder Bremen at the moment. If he can go and get 10 goals or 7 goals, 7 assists or whatever, I really feel like Manchester United next season will actually be a force where we don't have to go and penny pinch and stress out for players and stuff like that, which is very frustrating to see. One player I do want to talk to you about before we move to what's been reported today is Tenden Mendy has been, if I pronounce it right, has been promoted to the first team. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm ecstatic about this one. Obviously for many reasons. He's one of the lads, so to speak. He's only 18, and I don't feel like with him on the side, if Oli trusts him, I don't think we need another centre back this summer. I think he can come in and actually plug the holes or plug the gaps until we go and get someone else better next summer. Because they'll talk about buying Badashile, all of these players. But Badashile is like a year older than Mengi. I don't see much difference in the two of them. One of them just plays football. That's it. There's no point in us going to rush to buy a centre back when we have players in our youth team. And I feel like when I've seen him play, he's got pace, he's got energy, he can pass, he can head. You know, no one beats him along the floor, no one beats him in the air. Him and Maguire could be a very, very good partnership. What's your thoughts on Mengi?
No, I'm a fan as well. Everything that you said about him, he plays above his age, which is very rare with younger players. A lot of them
5 years,
are,
bro.
yeah. And see, the thing is, as much as I want to see him play more first team football, the way the fan base is so angry and annoyed right now. So I remember when we started giving Chong a lot more games than
Yeah,
Gomez. And the thing is, whether United fans like it or not, out of frustration, they were getting onto Chong way too harshly. The thing is, young players will always do things to cost you points. And now, because you've had this from like 2005 when Ronaldo was 18, Rooney was 18, then when Messi came through, these are guys that are a dime a dozen. These are guys that are superstars. They're magic. You know what I mean? So, you can't expect every 18-year-old that plays for a bigger team to now come up to that level very quickly. Now, if Mengi can come through and play to that level, then we've got one hell of a superstar wonder kid. But I will look at him and say, if you make mistakes today, I can't be mad because you're young. I expect you to
yeah.
be a different level stepping up now. You might be a leader on your level, which is fantastic. But when you can't to the next level, are you ready to deal with the higher quality?
Secondary school, man.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like going like that. So it's like that shock when you go from competing GCSEs in year 11. You're like, oh, I did very well in maths. So let me go and do maths in A level. Then you realize you don't want to do
Not
maths
the
in A
same.
level. Trust me,
Not
I'm
the
talking from
same.
experience. So, it was there. It's I want to see him, but I would prefer it where we play him in less pressure games. Whereas games where it's like maybe Carling Cup, FA Cup, Premier League games where you're going to win, but you can take that risk at the back playing a younger guy.
Yeah.
And the way the fan base is right now, it's not like when we were winning and then if you're young, you can come and do your thing. So even though he didn't stay longer in Giuseppe Rossi could come in and bang a goal out of nowhere and there's no pressure on him. And he can enjoy his football.
Okay,
Whereas
yeah.
now, because we can look at players on the pitch and even the senior players, we're not convinced by a load of them. If the younger guy comes in and doesn't do the job as well, there's going to be a lot of crowd on him. And that's why someone like Chong was getting abused. Chong's a good player. He's a damn good player. So I would like to see Mengi, but I would like us to just take our time. And I noticed that you said him and Maguire, and even though I know he's captain, yeah, it has to be him and Lindelof. I'm sorry, I'm not having that.
Well, obviously, we're just going about what Ollie's thinking, innit? But obviously, for me, I think personally, I agree with you 100%. Like the game against Luton Town, I'm doing a preview for that. I don't know when. I found a Luton fan. I don't know how, but I found one.
Oh,
The
nice.
game against Luton Town, he has to play that game, bro. And that's one of the things I feel like I'm not. I don't want to turn it into the Ollie show, but that's one of the things I feel like last season he didn't do for me in certain games where he didn't trust the young players. Like for example, Burnley at home when he played Fred and Pereira centre mid, when you had people like Ghana on the bench and
Mm.
or in the youth and stuff like that. It was a joke. But I feel like he can really, really come into our first team and actually change and actually save us £60 million. Because if he does a madness, I'm not saying don't back up on Meccano, but if he does a madness, you don't really need to buy those type of players. You don't need them players. And your point of the if we're always winning in the youth, I agree with that because a lot of the so-called top is my finger in there top Reds, they think that everything is 1992 where all of the Paul Scholes and them lot came through. It's different now, bro. Like
It's different.
we don't have any leaders in the squad that can be like, hey, cool. I'm gonna tell you to do this. No, I've won this. Okay, I've won 2 Premier League. So if you follow me out, you'll go to this place. No, a lot of our players have not even won trophies for themselves, so they're still even learning to get to that level. And
Yeah.
also, the management team have not won it as well. So it's like a lot of our squad is young in terms of mentality, in terms of winning trophies. So that's why it's very difficult for a lot of our players to actually come into the squad and make
Even
an
the
impact.
players that we most of the time criticize saying we don't want are the ones that have the trophies. I mean, they're not leaders. Phil Jones, I want to call him a leader, but he's got a Premier League. In fact, he's got everything apart from a Champions League.
Yeah.
Same as Chris Smalling. Same as David De Gea. Who else have we got in there that's been there that long? Even Matic at Chelsea, he's won things as well.
Pogba.
Pogba with Juventus. So, come on, laptop in charge. So, obviously Pogba's not one that we want to go, but just put his name in there, of course, because he's won
Yeah.
stuff as well, and he's won a World Cup too as well. So these guys have won things, but the majority of them, the fans don't want them, and you can't expect. And you're right, you can't expect young guys to come in and develop a winner's mentality around players that haven't won. There's one thing winning games, is another thing collecting medals to go around your neck. You need that. It's sort of like is that the Tottenham problem? People like Tottenham have a barrier because they of getting to like finals and winning things. Well, they haven't won anything. So what can they do? You know what I mean? Like, as much as we love Pochettino, unfortunately for him, in his young career, he hasn't collected a trophy yet. So he couldn't get that out of them either. That's unfortunate. Whereas Liverpool, they signed players from like Southampton, Roma, with Salah, Mane, Keita with Leipzig. These guys haven't won stuff. Van Dijk has won anything with Southampton, but you've got a manager that's won Bundesliga, which is hard to win considering Bayern Munich is your main friend twice. So fans just got to be patient. I've said it now. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. There's not many winners in football these days. They don't have that. They don't have that mentality that a lot of people are asking for. So you just gotta have patience with these guys, and hopefully that they can build it.
Yeah, let's hope so, man. Obviously, we can literally be building like I want to say a dynasty. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but we can actually be building the spine of obviously Dean Henderson in goal, Mendy at centre back, Garner in the middle with Mejbri and the co. Obviously, Pogba still a youth product, and obviously up front Rashford, Greenwood, these type of players. Taif Chong obviously come back on loan, and this is what Manchester United are. Because obviously, I was speaking to obviously, Marion in the football group chat, he's always talking about Barcelona, the ethos, and all this stuff. So Manchester United and Ajax are the only 2 other clubs I think of that I like that they trust in the youth, they give the youth opportunity, and I feel like we need to go back to those principles where we have young, hungry players that actually want to play for the club and that want to change the fortunes of the club. Because that's all we want. We want people that can play for the shirt, play for the pride, but also have the technique and the quality as well, which is very important to take us up to that level. So we'll see how that goes. But we see some breaking news. As a Manchester United fan, I'm sick and tired of seeing tweets and monitoring FC, preserved FC, signed a contract FC, agreement FC. So Romano came out this morning, I think around like 12 o'clock, and said we're interested in we're gonna get a left back and a winger this summer. Then at 6 o'clock he broke the news, or someone else broke the news that I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not gonna try it.
Buhafsi.
Yeah, we have to. That we're going to try and sign Alex Telles. So obviously we've spoken about him a little bit before, I think. What's your thoughts on Alex Telles?
He's someone. See, I don't want to give him too much praise. but he's a good left back. He is a good left back. He's certainly an improvement on what we have. Um, he's good at set. He's good with set pieces. He's passing
which
range
we
is quite
need, bro. We
good.
don't
Yeah,
have any
which we do
corner
need.
takers, bro.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
see how you have FM, yeah, you have a corner taker 16 plus. Auto pick. All of our corner takers are in grey, bro.
Yeah.
12 out of 10, 12 out of 20, 30. No, we need some 16, 17, 18 out of 20 players.
Funny, I've had this sort of theory for a while actually that a lot of players in football in general don't have to take corners anymore. It's kind of scary. A lot of them can't beat first man. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, no, he's good at set pieces, which is good. In terms of defending, he's quite solid. He doesn't really give much away. He's good at tracking his man. He knows his timing of when to go forward and whip balls in from deep, from forward near the line. Decision making tends to be good as well. And he's considered a leader in the Porto team. So I would be quite happy with that signings because I like the fact that we signed someone. I mean, someone like Bruno came in and he's tried to take like a leadership role at the club already. So another player that can have that sort of confidence within them. He's also, I know people will criticize that his Portuguese league, but in the Porto, he's one stuff with Porto as well. So he knows how to, and he knows what it feels to like to win things, which is what we need as well. So yeah, I would be happy with that signing. I'm not gonna lie to you. If it is 20 million pounds as is being quoted by journalists and
Still,
so on, I'm not gonna lie to you, that would feel like a bargain. I mean, I feel like a lot of teams have done bargains this season. I only found out today that James Rodriguez was a free transfer. The 20 million is about his wages and all that. Yeah,
man,
yeah. You see, I only found that out today. I was like, hold on, wait,
man,
that's crazy. So
man.
that players like that right now, players are going for bargain prices. Thiago 30 million. That
Jota 35.
exactly. So no, I said 30 million. It was 25 million pounds even. So
5 million plus installments.
5 million plus installments exactly. So um, I think I think there's a perfect time to try and look for these bargains because of coronavirus season. And I think this is the best chance you're going to get because if you don't take a Tellers this season and he stays or he goes PSG next season, if you're trying to get him from Porto, they're probably going to ask about 40, 50. If
Did last
PSG
year
buy
with
him,
contracts as well, bro. They have to sell.
exactly, they have to sell it. But if you let PSG buy him and give him higher wages, you're not getting him anytime soon because United are not going to give him an increase on already big wages and pay like I don't know maybe 60 million if they demand that for him. So yeah, I would say if we're going to get that done, we need to get that done now. And I don't want to hear. Well, I've heard it already, but I don't want to hear with agreed terms. And now we're considering the price. If it's 20 million, you've got it. You pay it and bring the guy in. If you haven't got it, just move
Yeah,
on. Very simple.
I agree. I've been watching obviously his compilations today this morning at work, and I feel like he's a fantastic player. Obviously, I've seen him play quite a bit in the Porto League, where we had to scout for Bruno Fernandes for like 18 months. So I used to go over there and see what the league is like, and obviously he's a player that he gets up and down, he shoots from range, he can
Mm.
cross, and more importantly, he can attack. And what that actually does is you get the overlaps with Marcus Rashford, and you get the left side looking like a force.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw does it, but he doesn't go full pelt. And also, what you can even do is make Wan-Bissaka drop back into a free, and also get more width on the pitch if Sancho does come in. Him and Tellez doing the width and Rashford coming in and making like a fake 4-4-2. So
Mm.
the possibilities are endless, bro. But he is an upgrade on Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw is. I saw a couple of pictures coming out today, and it just pissed me off even more. Like he just looks so overweight, and
So he's getting weight again. Damn.
yeah, I just can't be asked. It gets to a stage where I think Manchester United are what we call sentiment FC, where a lot of people are just here for sentiment, and
I'll say this. I feel like a lot of managers have also criticized Luke Shaw, which, if he's not staying
you
fit, I think that's fair. But I also do worry about how United look after their players because I was very worried the day that obviously when Lukaku left, we our first criticism of us from us was he got big, he got real big real quick, and it wasn't just muscle, it was fat as well. And when he went to Inter Milan, they discovered he had some sort of condition, so they conditioned him perfectly. Now he's back to his lean self, he's eating properly, all that kind of stuff. And I feel like we've had a history of that with Memphis Depay as well came out of nowhere, just suddenly becoming very, very muscular. Is that we didn't check out for that either. I can blame players for that. You know me, I always go for players and say take some responsibility. And Luke Shaw should take responsibility looking after his own body. But I also feel like there's a bit of I don't want to say neglect, but I don't know
Yeah,
if I don't know if the coaching staff are careful enough. I don't want to say it's this coaching staff because if Luke Shaw's had problems under previous managers, is definitely got to be a him thing. But I still do worry. I don't want to try and put any sort of
I
conspiracy
agree.
out
I
there, but
agree.
I'm a bit worried about it. But that being said, someone like Teller's coming in is good competition for him. He needs that. He needs that. Someone that is considered better than him, he's gonna have to come and fight and say, "Look, I'm better than this guy, so I'm gonna up my game." And I think it's also good for Brandon Williams and for Wan-Bissaka. And I say why for Wan-Bissaka because as much as I like the guy defensively, I like him defensively because he's good at what he does, but I don't like recovery defending. Like everyone does that now, but it is what it is. But having Brandon Williams, who is good going forward, but on his actual right-footed right
Yeah,
wing side, going forward and doing his thing, that could actually put a bit more pressure on Wan-Bissaka to try and improve his forward game. So you know what, signing tenors could actually be good for a number of people. I think it's very important.
yeah. What it actually does do, and you know, is I was thinking about Manchester United obviously a lot over the past few years, watching some of the old videos, and obviously we haven't had a left back for since ever, or even since Danny Blin. Like Luke Shaw's been there, but he's always injured. You've always had to play Ash Young at left back for so long.
Mm.
And it's Manchester United. We need a balanced squad, and for once, we're actually getting a balanced squad. We finally have a left back. If we get him, we'll have a left back who can play left back. Right backs who can play right backs that are not wingers. Centre backs that are not DMs dropping into centre half. A goalkeeper, a defensive midfielder, proper creative midfielders. Wingers if we get Sancho or
Mm.
someone else, which I'm going to come to in a second, and a striker. And I feel like if you're going to give Ollie and his team any credit, you have to give them credit for the way they balance the squad and the way they're trying to balance the squad and they're plugging the key holes and they're plugging the gaps, which is good. It's admirable to see. I'm not going to lie.
Mm.
Another person who we have been linked to is Myla Sarr. Now, this is the guy who I wanted before he went to Watford. I
Okay.
don't see why we'd even try to put in a bid for him. And I was telling one of my friends, I'm not trying to go overboard, but with the right coaching, with the right philosophy, with the right environment around him, he could actually be the new Mane, um, like how Liverpool got him off Southampton. What's your thoughts on him as a player and his comparison with Mane as well?
I'm I'm on the fence with him. I honestly don't know what to make of him yet. I can't say I saw too much of him outside of the Premier League, but obviously I've seen. Well, we all saw him at Watford this season.
Yeah.
He's a tidy player. Um, he's still quite. He seemed quite raw, but it does come with the coaching. I wouldn't compare him to Mane though, because Mane's game was becoming cleaner at Southampton. So at a lower level, even though he was around better players and a better coaching team, you could see his game was levels above. So you know you could tell he was ready for that step up. Ismail Star, I'm not completely sold on him just yet. This might seem like a bit of a disrespect to this guy, but I would worry that he would play a bit like Pepe. Um, in the sense that obviously Pepe came for big money, and well, from what I've heard on social media, 40 million is what they're quoting teams. Um, Pepe hasn't hit the heights that people would hope, considering the fee. And I think if he came to United for £40 million, even though £40 million is considered kind of lower for a team of Man United stature these days, end of the day there'll be pressure on him.
I think it should be around 20. If we're negotiating, we should get around 20. There's no way we're paying more for him
You say
than
you
Joe
say that
Rodolph.
you say that about negotiation, but I mean, are we ever good at negotiating these things? It's not like Chelsea who were quoted 80 million for Chilwell and they got it for 50. Like it's not like that. We don't do things like that, you know. So if we do buy him, we are going to pay the full 40, and it's probably installment based, of course, add-ons and all that. We could probably push it, maybe pay 20 million up front and then do the rest because Watford do want money. I mean, they just today I found out also they want to get rid of Craig Dawson. He's waiting on loan, but they want a permanent transfer, so they need the cash. Um, I'm just not sold on him just yet. So if he does come, I would be patient. I will take my time and see how he does. He's another option alternative to Jadon Sancho, but um, you would probably be a lot more convinced than I am. Right now, I'm a bit like that. I'm not too sure yet. So I'm not gonna go into his neck, nor am I gonna give him
Think
anything.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've rated him since the team. I think it was Rennes where he played before when he bossed Arsenal, done a man against Arsenal.
Mm.
Rated him since then. Obviously, he's been checking out the French league as well because of my boy Camavinga as well in the centre mid. So I've
Mm.
had to rate that team from time. So obviously, you know, I don't see why not. I don't see why we can't move in for that for such a player.
Mm.
Um, in terms of alternatives for Sancho, in terms of the list that I'm seeing, I think he's the best option on the list.
Okay.
In terms of Perisic, he's not the best player, but in terms of Perisic, Koeman, all of them, I feel like he's someone that can come and play a reduced role if Mason Greenwood's going to start more. And obviously, if we do get the big right winger next summer, he can't complain about being on the bench because that's just we're Manchester United. He's going to be low wages, and I believe we could get a low fee for him. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens
Mm.
with him. But if we do get Tellez, Van der Beek, and Saar, what would you rate that window out of 10?
No, I'd give that an 8. Because Tellez will be impressive.
Yeah,
I'm very, very happy with the Van der Beek. You will never hear me complain about that signing. That signing for
yeah.
me is individually itself, for me, that's a 9 out of 10 signing. The guy is quality. So I ain't even gonna be mad at that. And Saar, yeah, just because I know we need a right winger. And I know his variety is good. He's fluid, he can go direct, can cut inside. So you're giving yourself a lot of options there. And because Sancho, boy, because Greenwood is someone that likes to just cut in and shoot. You need someone that's able to a bit more
Yeah,
rip
like
players and
that
try to
sounds
create. Yeah. So um yeah, I'll take him. I mean, my option is apparently going to Everton. That's Leon Bailey. So I'm already
That's
tired
my
because
option too, bro.
see, well, apparently he's going to Everton, and
Leon Bailey gang.
no one in the Premier League apparently is looking at Calvin Stengs, which again I'm like, is anyone watching
You
him?
have to tell the viewers who he is, man.
Oh yeah, well, plays for AZ. He's can play on the right or the left, primarily right. More of an inside fullback. Again, can go directly. He's both feet. Very tricky, but effective. Tricky, not just tricky to be tricky. He's quick, agile, can score goals, can create. The way we talk about him, he probably sounds like a complete player. It's never that. There's still more to do in his game,
Yeah, yeah.
but these are things that he has in his locker. And who's the other one that's annoyed me? Well, Diogo Jota, who's another one that's apparently goes about to go to Liverpool. So that's another one that's annoying me, knowing that he's going for like 35 million, which for me is peanuts considering how good he's been for Wolves. So I don't know what they're doing with that deal as well. I don't know why they set to 35 million, but yeah. So
Liverpool,
yeah. So if Ismail Assar comes in, I'm not going to be mad. That's another option because, like I said, I think you agree with me. I'm tired of
Leon
waiting
Bailey,
and not.
40 million, you know.
It's a good deal, and they're probably doing installments as well. Like Everton are doing smart business because they've got a smart manager who they're allowing to do his deals. Not asking to draw up a list of players and then not giving them players. That's the difference between the two clubs, and that's Everton I'm talking about compared to United. So, but I don't want to get into that situation. All I'm going to say is any manager that comes in or out, they're going to suffer the same fate anyway. So that's why I don't talk too
Yeah.
much about managers. But yeah, Ismail Assar if he comes in, all right, let's see what he does.
So there you have it, guys. Coach says 8 out of 10. It has to be an 8 out of 10. So
What
there
about
we
you? What would
have.
you say?
Ah, if it's Leon Bailey, Tellez, and Van der Beek, I'll give that 8 out of 10 for sure.
Mm.
Ismail Sarr gives it a 7. Leon Bailey's just the guy for me, man. We need some flair. We need more crazy haircuts. We need people that students gonna hate. I'm down for that, bro. I'm telling you, man. These guys don't understand what Leon Bailey's about. I'm telling Usman all the time. You might watch this and clip it out as usual, but Leon Bailey, left foot, right foot, direct. Um, I just feel like Bayer Leverkusen's holding up for the best still.
Mm.
And if he does go to Everton, it's another one of them. Why didn't we go for him? Type moves. So, because they've already quoted like 20 to 40 million pounds. I know that's very wide, but I've seen 20 million, I've seen 35, I've seen 30. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll have to see. But yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. This is gonna come up just before the Crystal Palace game. So let's hope we get a win. Let's hope Oli gets our season up and running. Everyone's flying, everyone's moving. Hopefully by the next time me and Kojo meet up to do a video, we'll have one, if not two, maybe three signings coming in. But yeah, enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your Saturday. Make sure you go out, make some friends, watch the football, grab a beer or two, and just enjoy yourselves. But that's been me and Coach. Peace.